Hi, and welcome back to my blog. Today I'd like to talk to you about the disadvantages and advantages of selling a house for sale by owner. Again, I'm Jeff Silva with the Jeff Silva team.
And I'm Michael Merton with the Jeff Silva team.
We wanted to try something a little different today as we were talking to you about this challenges and disadvantages of trying to sell the house on your own. Basically, we wanted to show you our working environment and what we do every day to list and sell real estate. You can see here we've got our headsets on our ears, we've got the screens and the computer systems. One of the things that we do every day when we list property for sale is we're out there every day looking for a buyer for your home. We're not just kind of sitting back, throwing the house in the computer and waiting for people to come. We're actively and aggressively going out there every day and looking for potential buyers, which is what it takes in today's real estate market. First of all, when you're trying to sell a house on your own in today's market, you know, it's something that if I wasn't in real estate, it's something that I would do myself. I mean,
Of course.
I mean, why wouldn't I?
Try?
You know, I mean, save all that money. You know, especially look, I could put a sign up and get lucky. It's certainly worth a shot, and I think that most people selling by owner, that's typically what they do.
I mean, you see it all the time. I mean, realistically, how long do you think it takes on average for a first sale by owner to sell if they're selling on owner?
Yeah. Well, what we found is, Mike, is that most people that are selling by owner, they're actually selling in the first 2 weeks. What happens is they throw a sign up, hey, a neighbor's got a friend that's looking to move into the community, and they wind up coming over wanting to buy the home. Or, you know, they're at work, hey, I've got my house for sale, yeah, I've got somebody that I know, or, you know, I'm looking in that area. That's typically the way the for sale by owner sells.
And statistically, I mean, what percentage of for sale by owners actually do sell?
It's probably right now in this market about 3%.
Right.
Might have been like 5 to 7 a couple years ago,
Right.
when the market was real hot, about 10%. But in today's market, Mike, as you know, we have a hard enough time trying to sell homes on our own, you know, yet the for sale by owner who can't give the exposure that a real estate agent can give. The second thing to consider when trying to sell a house by owner is the fact that, you know, this, at the end of the day, it still is a business transaction, okay? Certainly, you know, it seems like putting a sign up is not a hard thing to do, taking some calls, showing the house, that's all real easy. But then it comes to the point where now I got to guide you and get through the process, get it under contract, get the inspections done, get the house appraised, and get to the closing table. That is probably the most difficult thing in the market today with all the financing challenges, the appraisal issues. It is not the easiest real estate market for us as real estate agents, of course, you know.
That's a part that we constantly are working on, Jeff. I mean, obviously, you know, doing the transactions and the volume that we do, it keeps us in tune with the market changes and the mortgage changes that are happening every single day. And as you know, we've talked about this a lot in the past, and it's the second most stressful thing that someone's going to do in their lifetime, other than the death of a family member. And just knowing and being around the business as long as we've been, there's people that actually get divorced through the process. You know, it's something it's very, very challenging, very, very stressful.
It is.
So, I mean, as a for sale by owner, you know, obviously, if something does work out really well for you, you get the house sold in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, which is great. It's probably a good point of emphasis to maybe hire a real estate agent on at that point to carry you through the process, or hire a very experienced attorney to go through that process. I mean, just, it's kind of ironic, but we've had 2 attorney transactions in the past 2 months, both of which really, they hired their own attorneys to advise along the process with us.
They did.
And, you know,
They did.
even attorneys recognize that you have to have somebody else who's not emotionally attached to the outcome to oversee the process for you to make sure that everything goes successfully and make sure we're staying in contracts.
Absolutely. I mean, totally, Mike, 100%. And that's just, the name of the game is just to have somebody that can be emotionally detached, okay, and not be attached to the outcome to help you get to the finish table. You know, the other part of this is that the market is constantly changing today, okay? Day by day, week by week, we're seeing changes in this marketplace. One of the things that a real estate agent does is to keep you informed to the changes in the market and how that affects the saleability of the home. What you don't want to find out is 30, 60, 90 days down the road that you missed the market, you were behind the market, you were chasing the market down, okay? And then all of a sudden now you can't sell, okay? Because that's what can happen in this market that we're in today.
Now talk a little bit, last year we had 2 different sellers approach you after they were for sale by owner and the deal fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
And it fell apart because of various reasons with financing, appraisals, etc. And then they came to you for advice after the deal fell apart because they recognized on the second go around they didn't want to go through that again. They were packed up, they were ready to move out, and you know, here they are and the house is empty and the buyer couldn't make the deal happen.
Yeah, one of our buyers, it cost them $10,000 in deposit money. Excuse me, one of our sellers. They were trying to move. Their neighbor said they were buying the house. They were ready to go. Everything was good. They bought another house. the buyer never went through with the deal, so therefore they were stuck. Those types of things we don't want to let happen to any of our clients. Thanks again for joining us today. Any information that you want additional, you can read our blog below. Shoot us an email, send me a text, give us a call. We'd be happy to talk to you and educate you and do whatever we can to help you with this process to achieve your goals.
Thanks for stopping by.